Hey there everybody, this is Caitlin here and welcome to a small little bonus video for you on this Wednesday evening or afternoon, depending on your time zone or whatever. It's kind of late at night a little bit for me, but I still wanted to make this video and put it out today just because it's quite relevant right now. Well, at least it's relevant to me anyway. I got a nice little delivery right here in this handy dandy little box. But what is inside this box, you may ask? Well, recently, obviously it was Easter last weekend, or well, Easter weekend. It was like a 2-week Easter holiday over here in the UK, and the last weekend there was Easter weekend essentially. So, you know, think chocolate, think bunnies, think the appropriate things to think of Easter in a religious sense. It doesn't really matter, like, you know what, if celebrate your own religious thing, but for a lot of people it was Easter. So over at Big Orbit Cards, or Big Orbit Trading or whatever, that's a card game website here in the UK, they're UK based whatever, they were having a Easter holiday sale essentially on all of the singles whatever of their old stock. So it didn't count, like they sell like a lot of different trading cards. So like they've got Magic, they've got Yu-Gi-Oh, they've got Vanguard, they've got Force of Will. Funnily enough, Force of Will videos as well. So they were having an Easter weekend on singles of old product and whatever. They weren't doing, I believe it was at least out of Force of Will, there was no discount on Return of the Dragon Emperor or Ringo 3, I believe. But for everything else before that, and the majority of their promos, there was a huge like slash in price. So this was actually a good chance for me because I'd saved up, I'd basically got a lot of online store credit from a lot of selling I'd done or whatever through the website. I got in a lot of store credit because the way it works out is that you get more for your cards that you're selling if you choose to get store credit instead of like getting outright paid in like $100 cash. So for this time, after I'd sold a lot of stuff that I wasn't really needing anymore, I decided, you know what, I'm going to get store credit this time and kind of wait and hope for a sale, because they're usually semi-regular with their sales. Obviously, they're not all maybe holiday themed or whatever. They sometimes just have like weekends where it's like you get a really good percentage for your trade-ins, or like you get a good percentage buying certain singles or whatever, or like or promos or whatever, or slash in price. So they do quite a lot of good sales. So I wanted to open it up with you. I already know what I bought, obviously, because I'm the one that ordered it, but I bought quite a few cards whatever with my store credit. A lot of promos that I was missing because there are a lot of promos whatever that I missed out whatever, considering when I started playing Force of Will. So I got a load of those, and a couple of cards that I might be using in decks or whatnot, and even just a couple of cards I just wanted to have just for my own sake or whatever. So I thought it'd be nice to open up this little pack. I believe there's at least 40 maybe cards in here. I'm not quite sure if I remember correctly. I did use up all my store credit, I do remember that, so there might be about 40-ish cards in here. So we'll open this up and I'll show you guys what I got in this little box here. And here we are over at my playmat with our little box here. So I will just quickly try and open this up here. Hopefully, I'll see if I can try and do it on camera. This sellotape, obviously. I've not got my scissors on me. I know, I'm really bad in that. Recently I've been like doing unboxings of things, whatever, and I don't have my sellotape on me. I'm just like, oh, I'm not being professional in the slightest. But my apologies. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can use my teeth, actually. I know, I'm like so unprofessional. I'm just like gnawing away at cardboard and sellotape. It's like, it's not healthy for your teeth. I actually went to the dentist not that long ago, actually, and they're just like, oh, your teeth are pretty fine. Just maybe don't drink as much cola. Not sponsored or anything like that, but there we go. We got finally into it, and you can see the card sitting in there. So I don't want you to see my order number or whatever, so I'll just quickly slide these out just off camera. There we go. So that's a decent amount, yeah. Pretty sure there's at least 40 cards in here, whatever. And they provided these nice little cellophane bags, whatever, to keep them nice and protected. So open them this way around, whatever, and I'll give you guys a little glimpse as to what I got. Like I said, it was mostly promo stuff or whatever, so mainly for collection purposes. But there's a lot of things here that I kind of wanted, just for the sake of it. So I got, let's see, I got Vampire Staff. Because William runs a Reser deck or whatever, or basically he's built kind of like it's not a wand or a Reser deck essentially, he's got a deck that he built when Grim and Alice were the legal sets, and he's not really updated it since, so he's got my Vampire Staff still. So I want another one just because I think I don't have a playset of it. I managed to get a Cheshire Cat because I traded some of my playset away. I believe I kept one Cheshire Cat, and this was on sale, and they had one in stock, so you're just like, you know what, I'm going to get another Cheshire Cat. Because why not? They're handing in wonder. I got 2 promo Tamas, so now I've got a full playset of promo Tamas to put in any wind deck or whatever that I want to use. Because it always bugged me how I only had 2 promo Tamas and 2 regular ones. It was just, you know, it always bothered me or whatever. Like, I just like, it's not the same. So I got 2 promo Tamas. I got 2 copies of the promo Recollection of Dystopia, because I've got one of these. It's not quite a playset yet, but we're getting there, and these were quite cheap as well. These are promos, I believe. I can't remember when they came out. I think they were promos for Twilight Wonder, I believe. Yeah, because obviously this is a Dark Alice card or whatever. So got 2 of these. This is one also I'm very happy to get. I got a playset of Stone to Death. Stone to Death is obviously a really, really good card. It's the one that's like, basically you pay to destroy target resonator, which is super, super duper handy. I feel like I might build this for a Wonder deck using Vlad. I kind of want to use that because yeah, Vlad is like, I've finally got the Vlad now, so I feel like I could build a Wonder deck with it. And you know what? Even though there's lots of ways to stop things from targeting or whatever, I still think it's quite a handy spell. Just to straight up kill something is just amazing. And it's spell chant instant, which is also pretty good. We got ourselves a couple of promo full art Dark Magic Stones. I know people are saying, oh, why would you want these when the Dark Alice Dark Stone, which is kind of off there. You can't really see it on camera because it's not focusing on the entire map. But I really like the full arts, the promo full arts, however, of these Magic Stones. I just think they look absolutely amazing. I love how it's like kind of like a torch, and it's like a pillar of kind of like purplish glass jewel texture or whatever, and you've got the spikes whatever protruding out. So I managed to get 4 of these, which is very nice. So that's technically like, say, well, it's a playset anyway of these promos. I also got 4 of these Destructive Assault. I can't remember exactly what these were a promo of. I'm pretty sure it was either a promo for Curse of the Frozen Casket or some Lapis Cluster related thing, because I believe it was from early on. I never got hold of these. These weren't available or whatever at the time. And I know a friend of mine, I think, is looking for them. So I picked them up just in case he still needs them or whatever. They were pretty cheap as well, so that's quite nice. And, you know, if he doesn't need all of them, then I'll maybe just keep one for promo sake because it is a promo and it's nice to have. So next up into this other little bag here. Like I said, we're not going to be spending too much time because it's not as if I don't know what these cards are already. I'm mainly just sharing with you some of my purchases or whatever so you know what I'm getting. I got a promo Elvish Priest. I got 2 of them here because I've got normal copies of Elvish Priest, but I never had the promo version of it. So that's another promo I've got to my collection. They had a lot of promos still in, I don't know if they have them all in stock, but they had a lot of promos from the Valhalla cluster days. So if you're in the UK and you're interested in collecting like basically all the promos or whatever, I believe they still have some Valhalla cluster promos up there. So it's maybe worth checking. I also got 3 of the promo Rapid Decay. I completely forgot which set this came in, because when I saw the card, I was like, I don't recognize the name of this card. I don't remember seeing it. I believe this originally got printed in the Castle and the Two Towers, so that was the second part of Grim Cluster, and I believe it got a reprint in Vingolf, basically the first Vingolf Engage Knights. So that's why I didn't recognize it. So, but this is a promo of it. So I got 3 of this, which is very nice. I got 3 copies of, I believe it is Riella's Lance. This is from Vingolf 2. It is an edition J/Resonator. Basically, just added J/Resonator gains 1000 attack. Because I never bought Vingolf 2. It was just one of those things where I was just like, I was looking at it. I'm not a huge fan of Valkyria Chronicles. Like, I've never played the games or whatever. And after reading all the spoilers and stuff and finding what was in it, and you know what, I was just like, I don't feel keen dropping like 50 odd pound or whatever on this set when it seems like half the cards, or basically the majority of the cards, I am never going to use. So that's why I ended up not buying it. But I saw that some of the cards were actually kind of interesting and they were dirt cheap. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get that because there's not too many additions that you can attach to J-Rulers as well. So I find it quite interesting. Plus it's a red card, so giving red cards more attack is always nice. I also got this spell here. It is called, what's it called? The Schemes of the Empire, which is pretty cool. It's a 2-cost dark, and it is, look at target opponent's hand and choose a card, they discard that card, which in a way, it's like another way to remove, and it's another way to check your opponent's hand, because obviously you've got Square of Dark Alice, which lets you look at the hand and discard a Resonator. You've got the, what's it called? Is it the Dark Mist or something like that? Which lets you look at a hand and discard a, I think it's like spell or like non-resonator card and put counters on. Obviously, Lapis Dark Storm is one at random and then one of their choice. So this is what basically you can trick any card, which is kind of handy if like you want the option of what card. So I got 4 of those. I got 3 of, what's her name? Is it Silvaria? I think Silvaria's Lance. This is kind of a bit of an expensive card. It's a 4 cost. Another addition J/Resonator. But this one has added J/Resonator gains 4/4. And whenever this card deals damage, you gain that much life. Can you imagine adding this to 0? It would be totally broken. I am kind of tempted to maybe sideboard this in with my latest 0 build that I've made or whatever, which is kind of like a black-white 0 control deck. So I'm kind of half tempted to sideboard this, maybe even just 1, because it is quite a handy thing to have. I also got 2 copies of the Ragnite, I believe. It's a Regalia, but it doesn't look like a tank, I believe. I know a lot of the Regalia from that set were tanks, but looks like some kind of med pack or whatever. It costs 3, and it's basically one of those ones where it produces well of any colour. You can banish this card, it produces a well of any colour. You can pay 2 light and tap it and banish this card, and you can recover your J-Ruler, which is actually kind of nice. Might actually be potential for 0 as well, but I'm not too sure. I mainly think you would maybe like that for, like, light ramp or whatever like that. I finally managed to get myself a Charlotte, because it was the only ruler from the Curse of the Frozen Casket set, at least the ones in the booster boxes, that I was missing. I've got like so many different copies of like Mars, Sun Wukong, Yogg. I only ever got 1 copy of 0, and I never pulled a Charlotte. So I am pretty happy to get a Charlotte at long last, because she was the only really ruler from the box that I'm missing. I'm still missing Mercurius and Mikage from the starter decks, but I'll try and get those at another date. They weren't on sale on the site or whatever, so I finally got a Charlotte. I might try at some point make a Charlotte deck or whatever, because I'm quite happy. She is kind of useful anyway. She's only got 2 for her judgment. You can play 1 and discard a card, and then you can rest target Resonator. And then when she flips, she cannot be attacked. And when she enters your field, you draw X amount of cards, where X is 5 minus the number of cards in your hand. And whenever you draw a card, you gain 100 life. You can pay a blue and a void and discard a card and return target Resonator to its owner's hand. So she's pretty cool. I quite like her. So I'm glad I finally got her. And then last but not least, I managed to get 4 of the Precious Stones. I think out of all of my purchases, these were the most expensive. Obviously, they didn't get a discount from the Easter sale or whatever. These were full price. And even for these non-foil ones, they were like hella expensive. The only reason I really bought these is because I still had a lot of store credit left over. So I was like, you know what, there's nothing else in the kind of discount area that I want. I'm going to see if I can actually buy these. And just as I suspected, I had just enough from all of my store credit to get these stones, whatever, and to cover my shipping. So I didn't even have to pay for the shipping. I believe the postage was only like maybe £4 or £5 or whatever, but since I had enough store credit left over, it covered the postage as well, which is pretty nice. So I have a playset of this now. I am thinking that I will build a deck profile for Reincarnation Priscilla. Don't know whether I'm actually going to play it or not, because I'm still on the fence about whether I actually want to play Priscilla. I feel more comfortable playing Zero Control, and I have more fun playing Zero Control, but I'm maybe going to build a variant of Priscilla that I've been thinking about, inspired by a couple of other things that I've seen other people do. I might test it a little bit, because I am hoping to go to the GP in Birmingham that is happening in June in the UK, and I'm still on the fence on whether I want to play Zero, or if maybe I should give the Priscilla aggro a little attempt. I know that maybe I've been saying in the past, it's just like, ugh, I'm just sick of seeing Priscilla and all about, and I don't want to follow the meta, but at the same time I'm just like, I kind of want to like build a deck that's at least going to stand a chance. I feel like Zero could stand a chance, whatever, but I will probably just make the deck profile. Whether I actually go with the deck or not is up in the air. I still need to like try it out, whatever, see if I can be comfortable playing it and everything like that. But anyway, guys, that is everything that I got. That's like quite a lot of cards here. I'm pretty sure it was like 40 odd cards, but I mean, look at the size of this pile. It is like a huge pile. And oh, one more thing that I got. No, I didn't get it in this order or whatever. But hold on a second, I'm running away from the camera. And on this thing here, I actually got this little Dark Alice thing here. So that's everything that I got with my store credit. So thank you very much, guys, and until next time, I will see you later.